Panther people, what up? What's going on? You're watching Panthers Post with Phil Perkins. Thanks for joining. If you are new here, make sure to pound and keep pounding that like and subscribe button. Make sure to let your feelings be known about this afternoon's loss, 31-14 against the Buffalo Bills in Orchard Park. Yeah, so the Panthers are 5-9. I want to first apologize that I did not post my midweek episode. A lot of stuff has gone down. If you've been checking the news, or if you're smart, not checking the news because it is super depressing right now. COVID-19, friggin' Omicron is running amok. I had tickets, 5 tickets to this game against the Buffalo Bills. I was all jacked up in Panthers gear. In fact, in that midweek episode, I actually do a segment where I talk about what I'm going to be wearing to keep warm at the Bills game. Got my 704 shirt, vintage, crew neck, Greg Olsen toque, or a beanie. Air is the best insulator. The hood is gigantic. Think I'm all right to break a table, jump into a fiery table. Someone in my party ended up contracting the virus, so we didn't want to travel in a car all together. And then cases just started to get crazy here in Toronto. And then down in Buffalo, we just weren't too sure. Not so much about the game, but more so the bars before, the night before, and the bars after. A lot of us have older parents, so we just didn't want to take the risk. What ended up happening, shout out Ashley Rowe, 6 o'clock anchor, local Buffalo News, used to work at my old station here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. She shouted out Bills Mafia, the creator of Bills Mafia, and we're looking for people who wanted the tickets for free. 5 free Buffalo Bills tickets for this crucial game for the Bills, really, in their divisional race against the New England Patriots. 100 level, 26 rows back. Absolutely free. Ended up finding a woman named Whitney. She had just touched down into Buffalo with her husband and family. He was a huge Buffalo Bills fan. We connected, thanks to Ashley and that connection there with hashtag Bills Mafia. Hooked her up with the tickets for free. Her and 3 of her family members. And I think they gave another one away to someone in the parking lot. They sent us this photo. They sent us the view. I was crying inside a little bit, mainly because I just wasn't there, and I hate plans when they just cancel like that, especially something they can't help it. It's just a crazy time at the moment, but at the same time crying inside because I'm glad we made somebody's Christmas come a little early. To the actual game itself, I think I predicted the final score to be something similar to this in that midweek episode that has not been aired. I feel like the Bills are going to win this one 30-17. But the Buffalo Bills beat up on the Carolina Panthers 31-14. It actually seemed closer, at least from on the TV, than the actual score has shown. I know Cam Newton threw a pick late in the game, but it did feel like the Carolina Panthers defense this time came out to play. It wasn't a run up a score type situation. It wasn't a blowout. They actually did handle the run pretty well. Josh Allen never really ran that much. Too bad I didn't show this midweek episode, but I felt like our defensive linemen, who are a bit smaller, but a lot more athletic and quick, and Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns, they were definitely more of a factor here to keeping Josh Allen in check and forcing him to throw. Unfortunately, he did throw. There were some moments there that, we haven't seen a lot this season. The Buffalo Bills scoring a receiving touchdown against Stephon Gilmore. Even Stephon was just like, I don't know. And hopefully that doesn't mean that, I hope he's not thinking, I'm the best player on this team, defensive secondary-wise at this point, and, I can't be picking up the slack. Jeremy Chin played all right. He had a very, very nice athletic interception on his part. We haven't seen too much of Jeremy Chin in terms of, impacting the game in that sense as much as he did in his rookie year. But that was good to see. That led to a touchdown for the Panthers. I had them 14 points on the day. But then after that, absolutely kaput, really, in terms of getting points on the board. There were some things that I did like seeing, some concerning things. Number one concern, who knew Zane Gonzalez was this important to the offense? But we do know that Zane Gonzalez hurt his quad, which at last check, very important if you're a kicker, in warm-ups. I don't even think he was trying a 50-yarder. I think it was like a 47-yard field goal, and he had to get helped off the field. So I don't know if he just wasn't warm enough, and it's cold outside. If you ever got an elastic band that was cold and tried to stretch it, what happens? It rips. So I don't know if he tore a quad or something like that, but if you need help to be carried off the field from warming up in kicks, that's never good. But Zane Gonzalez being out for Zylstra to take off, to do kickoffs. We did not do any PATs. They all tried, 2-point conversions. We went for it 5 times on 4th down, converted only once. But Zane Gonzalez big part of the offense. He's arguably been the most consistent player in his limited time here with the team. So his injury, it seems like if it's a quad, we've seen what it's done with Stephon Gilmore, and he's a friggin' all-star Super Bowl winning cornerback. I can imagine how long this could keep a kicker out. Besides that late game interception, which didn't really matter at this point, the game was kind of out of hand. I thought Cam played all right. There were no interceptions. There were no other type of turnovers. There was a bad handoff between Chuba Hubbard early. I didn't really see too much about Chuba Hubbard. Get more about that a little bit later. But, Cam used his legs. He led the team with rushing, with over 70 yards rushing. He was 18 for 38 in passing. He had the touchdown, and he had the rushing touchdown as well. Kind of like, that normal Cam Newton type thing. Didn't break 200 yards. Made that one interception late. Again, game was a bit far from him, but I don't think he made too many mental mistakes. But again, the offensive line, if you need any more proof to show that it's not necessarily the quarterback, but the offensive line is just doesn't do anybody any favors. There was one point where F.A. Obata, it was former Carolina Panther, another, take a shot if you heard this before, former Carolina Panther, making an impact against his former team. Guys who really, they were maybe, I wouldn't say Joey Slye was a cult favorite, but these were guys who are, C-plus type players in terms of importance on the team. But, you had Joey Slye, you had Mike Davis last week, and now you have F.A. Obata in back-to-back plays where he just, slobber knockers Cam Newton. Cameron Irvin just kind of put his hands up in the air. He was like, I don't know. Rule spoke with the media after the game, and, there's rumors going around that, having Cam Newton back wasn't Matt Rule's decision. He had nothing to do with it, really. He had obviously a big part, at least half of the reason why Cam Newton was let go back in 2019 when Marty Hurney was still the general manager. So it'd be odd for him to just kind of flip around and just bring him back when he just could have kept him the entire time. There are rumors that, this was Scott Fitterer and David Tepper's idea to bring Cam back. And really they were just like, you know what, Matt, your quarterback situation just the way you're scouting these pro quarterbacks is just not working right now. So we're just going to go with what we think will work with Cam. And there's been some talk, I can kind of see it as well, this double standard in terms of protecting of Cam and, or lack thereof, and protecting more of Sam Darnold. Sam getting taken off the field on numerous occasions because Matt didn't want to embarrass him in front of everybody. But then here you got leading up to this game, he's talking about we're going to have a 2-quarterback system heading into this game against Buffalo. He says he doesn't want to have to do it, but this is the situation that we're in, basically saying that Cam's not good enough, so we're going to have to put P.J. Walker in it. And then when it is game day, P.J. Walker doesn't take a snap. And then when Cam Newton is getting sacked because the offensive line is absolutely horrible, Matt Rule then tells the media after that the quarterback, as in Cam, is just holding the ball too long. So just nitpicking situations like that. It just seemed like Matt is just trying to make excuses out there in the public as to the reason why we all should have stuck with Sam Darnold. We shouldn't have even picked up Cam in the first place, and that, Matt knows more than Dave Tepper and Scott Fitterer, and then, this could be it for Cam. He's not going to get a vote of confidence from Matt Rule to bring him back next year. If there is a rookie quarterback here for him to groom, it's not going to be Cam Newton. It seems like, just trying to read the tea leaves here and trying to read between the lines in terms of how Matt talks about Cam Newton compared to how he's talked about, P.J. Walker and Sam Darnold in the past. Right now, the Panthers are 5-9. I'm breaking off on a tangent here because these episodes post-game tend to be more emotional. But the Panthers are trending towards getting a top 5 pick. So you can end up with that Evan Neal cat out of Alabama, who is at this point, and I've seen some crazy things he's done on Twitter, he looks like he could be a franchise left tackle. However, you also don't have day 2 picks. So if there's somebody out there who really wants a quarterback, really wants Kenny Pickett, or really wants Carson Strong or Matt Corral, and really wants to overdraft, you want to, trade down if you're a top 5 pick and then accumulate, maybe head down, midway through the first where you can still maybe get a pretty decent interior offensive lineman, which I think we desperately need at this point, a center or a guard. Maybe that cat out of North Carolina State or the dude out of Iowa. I'll get the names. Lindenbaum. I think it's Lindenbaum, the Iowa center. If you can get one of those guys mid in the first and then still pick up a 2nd and 3rd round pick, then I'd be okay to just help rebuild this team because they're going to need it. In the second half or late in the second half, we kind of lost Chuba Hubbard. Where did he go? Did he go back up to Canada? It's literally like a 30-minute drive up to Ontario from Buffalo. But it was the Amir Abdullah show after that. He was taking all these carries that should have been Chuba Hubbard carries. Chuba Hubbard, I thought, played really well. I thought he was reading the blocks really well. As I've said a million times now, as a rookie, I think he's definitely blossoming as a running back in the NFL, but for some reason he just kind of went missing. So we'll see what's up with that a little bit later. I thought Robbie Anderson continues to have a strong end to the season. Apparently, according to Lindsay Zarniak, the sideline reporter from Fox, Robbie Anderson is going to frame the jersey he wore last week in the loss against the Atlanta Falcons because it represents to him something about resilience. I mean, he is showing that because he wasn't showing a lot in the beginning of the season. He had the one touchdown early, literally week 1 against the New York Jets. And then after that, he kind of went MIA, and then he's back, and he had a really good game. I thought he had dependable hands because remember before, dude wasn't catching a damn cold. COVID jokes. But, he's playing definitely. He's a bit more dependable. He made some help move the sticks as well for Cam. It looks like their chemistry is working, especially with DJ playing with a hamstring injury. Him and Cam seem to be having a pretty good chemistry as well. All things that they could possibly build on to next year if Cam were to stick around as, the torchbearer for the next quarterback. But you know what? I didn't think the offense played horribly in terms of skill position players. Still haven't seen Terrace Marshall anywhere. Like I was literally in the formation just looking for 88. He's nowhere. So I don't know. And Zylstra has taken reps instead of 88. So I don't know if Terrace Marshall Jr. is just not picking up the offense that great. He used to be the big cat in college, and now he's not. And so maybe it's just a steeper transition for him. But I hope whoever is coaching next year, because I don't know if it's going to be Matt. I don't know. But hopefully they give Terrace Marshall Jr. a shot. Actually, I didn't even notice if Christensen or Deontay Brown were even starting on offensive line. Maybe I'm a terrible football fan. But I didn't see any sacks up the middle. So whoever was playing guard and center seemed to be okay. It was our edges that weren't great, especially with Cameron Ervin. But yeah, it's the little victories. You want to see how the rookies are playing. You want to see maybe if Shi Smith gets on the field, for God's sakes, and shows something. Same thing with Terrace Marshall, honestly. Why is Zylstra playing? Like, Zystra's a good guy, CFL guy, multi-tool guy. He seems quite dependable. He made some pretty good catches today. But why are we playing him? What are we trying to learn here? He's not a rookie. Like, put in 88, put in 12, and see what we got working with until next year. I want to say, shout out to Germany. And I know it sounds weird. If you haven't been keeping track, the NFL has given each team basically, rights to certain countries. Like the NFL is literally invading countries around the world. Here in Canada, even though it is Bills country, the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings, which are all still, both teams are quite close to the border. They have got, bids. They got dibs on the Canadian market in terms of putting up ads and I'm sure setting up football camps and all that. Carolina Panthers chose Germany. So, here's my message to all the German fans.
Hallo Panther-Fans in Deutschland. Ich freue mich so, euch Teil der Carolina Panthers Familie zu haben. Ich freue mich darauf, euch kennenzulernen und die Liebe zu diesem Team von außerhalb der Vereinigten Staaten zu teilen, da ich in Toronto, Ontario, Kanada bin.
Shout out to you all, and I appreciate you. I appreciate Bayern Munich. Sorry, don't want to alienate anybody, but Alphonso Davies is Canadian. Got to cheer for Bayern Munich. And also, I've been to Munich Airport, and they had the store, and it was a beautiful place. And yeah, so shouts to Germany. Shout out to Carolina Panther fans in Germany. Hit me up. Let me know where you're watching from, who's your Bundesliga team, and why'd you choose the Carolina Panthers. All right, so that's this episode. The rapid reaction from the Buffalo Bills loss. Panthers now 5-9, trending to that top 5 pick. They take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the first time in 3 weeks. Yeah. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be a good time. I appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, spread the word, comment community, make it happen. See ya midweek.